Good evening and thanks for joining us. This is the live studios of AKBC at Ntakinyang and the program is Sunday News Special. And I am Akani Upong.
I am Ayano Paul. Welcome to your Sunday Tonic.
You look splendid.
Thank you so much. You know I'm a Nigerian. You look good too.
Before we start today's program, I have a short story to tell you.
Really? Yeah. What's that?
Okay, 63 years ago, a baby was born.
Mm-hmm.
And on the day that baby was born, something spectacular happened. The popular British flag, the Union Jack, was lowered, while the green and white flag was hoisted.
Are you talking about Nigeria?
I'm talking about Nigeria. Today's Nigeria's 63rd independence.
Wow!
Happy independence, Nigeria. We are so happy and proud to be Nigerians.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm sure you don't know how to sing the national anthem. The second stanza of the national anthem.
You want to try me?
Oh yeah? Let me hear you.
Okay. O God of creation, direct our noble cause, guide our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know, in love and honesty to grow and living just and true. Great lofty heights attained to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. You believe me now?
That's beautiful. Okay, let's go to the program. The headlines first.
Okay.
Governor Mono calls for unity, peaceful coexistence as Nigeria marks 63rd independence anniversary.
Varieties from 2023 Nigerian Independence Day celebration in Akwa Ibom.
A Tinan man married to 16 wives regales experience with polygamy.
And President Tinubu announces provisional salary increments as federal government intensifies negotiation with organized labor.
These and more in this program. The reason you should not go away. Stay with us. Right, good to have you here once again. As Nigerians gather to celebrate our 63rd anniversary of independence, the state governor, Pastor Mon, has urged Akwa Ibom people to remain united and shun tendencies that seek to divide the state. Governor Nos stated this today at an interdenominational Thanksgiving service organized by the state government to commemorate Nigeria's independence. Our government house reporter Otebi Makun has the details.
Represented by the Deputy Governor, Senator Okune Yarahin, Governor Ino, who joined Nigerians to celebrate Nigeria's democracy, congratulated President Tinubu for granting equity and equal rights for all citizens of the country.
Akwa Ibom State has enjoyed unparalleled peace in the last 8.5 years. We should not disturb this peaceful coexistence amongst our brethren. We remain dedicated to working to translate solid democratic dividends in accordance with our Arise agenda.
Governor Eno, who also read the President's Independence Day speech, commended the dedication of founding fathers and mothers who fought the battle for peace to reign in the country, while saluting the gallant security forces for keeping safe and secure the nation's territorial integrity.
Fellow compatriots, the journey ahead will not be navigated by fear or hatred. We can only achieve a better Nigeria through courage, compassion, and commitment as one indivisible unit. I promise that I shall remain committed and serve faithfully. I also invite all to join this enterprise to remake a beloved nation into its better self. We can do it. We must do it. We shall do it.
Goodwill message was received by Speaker of Akwa Ibom Children's Parliament, Ms. Rhoda Vincent.
The Children's Parliament is here today to express our profound gratitude, first to God Almighty for sustenance, and to highly appreciate His Excellency's guiding light and dedication to placing child welfare at the center stage with followed action plan through his Arise agenda in ensuring that the rights of every Akwa Ibom child is respected.
The event featured march past by school children, cutting of 36 national anniversary cake, and prayer for the state and nation.
YASP Adoni. J-E-S-U-N-S. Congratulations, Nigeria.
Utami Maukun, AKBC News.
That's how Akwa Ibom celebrated the 63rd independence anniversary. What tripped me is the speech from the president. And he sued for peaceful coexistence. I think if there's anything Nigeria needs is to stem this in a spate of insecurity in the country. He also calls for unity and tolerance. That will make this country good and will attract investors to us. You know, most companies have folded, leaving because of in some parts of the country. But if there is peace and stability, there is this insecurity is stemmed, nipped in the bud. People will come in here and then do business, and economy will grow.
Yes, believe me, if you ask me, Nigeria needs peace this time. And we know that the times are hard. We know that it is not even easy to survive. So without peace, there is no way you make it in life. And I really commend the president for that speech, irrespective of every other thing he said. But for promoting peace, Nigeria needs it too very, 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 very much this time around.
All right, let's move to the next one.
Okay, the next story. To boost its free, compulsory, and qualitative education policy, the state government says it would provide free school uniforms, sandals, and exercise books for children in all public primary and secondary schools in the state. The Commissioner for Education, Mrs. Idoma Tebet, made this known during the 63rd Independence Day anniversary celebration at Ibom Hall grounds, Uyo. Mercy Okere reports that the event featured march past by school children as well as uniform and paramilitary organizations and special prayers for the nation by school children.
The commissioner said in addition to the free school accessories, Governor Moino has awarded contracts for the remodeling of one primary school in each of the 10 federal constituencies of the state, and that he is committed to doing more in realization of his vision for the education sector.
The Arise agenda is moving forward at full speed, thanks to the governor's vision and determination. In a little while, our children in public schools will receive free uniforms, sandals, and exercise books. Approval of the remodeling of primary schools 1 in each 10 federal constituencies. Contracts have been given to those that will start from the other constituencies. And I put it to you that our children, our teachers will have a good and very conducive work environment going forward.
In an exhortation to the gathering, the pastor in charge, Glory World Ministry, Pastor Samuel Effiong, who preached on the theme, Arise and Shine, for your light has come, said, until one arises, he cannot be noticed by the world, urging people to key into the Arise agenda of Governor Moino for an improved state.
Arising is the first step for prominence, for projection, for prosperity. The tragedy of not rising is that when you remain seated, you do nothing, you become ignored in life.
The ceremony featured song rendition by the Ministry of Education Choir, praises and thanksgiving sessions, as well as prayers for the state, nation, and education sector by Akwa Ibom children. The 63rd Independence Anniversary celebration featured parade by the Nigeria Police, while school children and uniform organizations marched past.
Secondary school, this is Air Force. So, are you going to tell me that if I sit for an exam that I will not pass? This country, the leader of work and the staff.
On their expectations of Nigeria.
I want Nigeria to be a very peaceful country, a country where people will not fight and make a mess of their careers, a country where people will give the right justice, and a country where people can be great. Nigeria to be a place that is safe and fair. I want Nigeria to rise and be great. I want Nigeria to become a better country, and I wish Nigeria many more years and let Nigeria become a developed country. I want Nigeria to be a good nation. Peace, unity.
Mercy Kere, AKBC News.
Nigeria at 63. In Akwa Ibom State, in terms of education, I think we are getting there. We are getting it. Beginning with the free and compulsory education. And now from that report by Mercy Ekere, government is about to provide uniforms, sandals, and books for children. And I think with these, children will be better off for it. And I also feel that government will also provide laptops and other gadgets so that our children can match up with others in other parts of the world.
Yes, I want to give it to the Akwa Ibom State government. You don't know what free education has done to Akwa Ibom people, Akwa Ibom children. Believe me, if you know, in this biting economy, if the education was not free at that level, I don't know how the children or the parents would have been coping. But to do that, and on top of that, they are providing free uniforms, sandals, and exercise books. That at least it will spur so many, even in the private schools, to return back to public schools. That is a very good thing to do.
You know, fees are so expensive in private schools, so Akwa Ibom government is getting it right in this direction. again, the state government is about building model schools in each of the 10 federal constituencies.
Yes.
Modern schools with modern facilities.
Well equipped.
And this will really boost education in Akwa Ibom. Kudos to our state government.
Yeah, kudos to Akwa Ibom state government.
All right.
You take the next story.
Nigeria has been dotted with tales of optimism and enthusiasm 63 years after it gained independence. It is hoped it will someday boast of several positive impacts, including a better economy. But for now, how do Nigerians feel about the country? This question is the reason Eyaranopol hit the street of Uyo for answers.
Perhaps it was like a mirage on October 1, 1960, when the independence of the giant of Africa was announced.
Mr. Albert Congo raises the flag of the new nation.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ.
After the jubilation, Nigeria became a republic in 1963 with the first ceremonial president Nnamdi Azikiwe and a powerful prime minister Tafawa Balewa. In October 1965, a group of army officers attempted to overthrow the federal government, where Prime Minister Balewa and 2 premiers were killed, while a military administration was set up under Major General Johnson Aguiyi Ironsi. Northern officers staged a counter-coup. Aguiyi Ironsi was assassinated, and Lieutenant Colonel Yakubu Gowon came to power. And in 1967, precisely May 30, Nigeria fought a 30-month civil war due to misunderstanding of the federal government and eastern region, led by Emeka Ojukwu. The war ended in 1970. Gowon was overthrown in July 1975 when General Murtala Muhammad emerged the head of state. He was assassinated in February 1976, and his top aide, General Olusegun Obasanjo, became the head of state. Others who governed Nigeria since then were Alhaji Shehu Shagari, General Muhammadu Buhari, General Ibrahim Babangida, Ernest Shonekan, General Sani Abacha, Abdusalami Abubakar, Chief Obasanjo again in the democratic era, Umar Musa Yar'Adua, Goodluck Jonathan, Muhammadu Buhari, and the current president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But how well do Nigerians know Nigeria? How old is Nigeria?
30 years.
Be 61.
63 years.
Who was the first president of Nigeria?
Shouldn't be Yakubu Gowon.
Mabasio. Nnamdi Azikiwe.
This man, before Ibarakba, Moba.
I think Nnamdi Azikiwe.
Nigerian symbol of authority include the flag, coat of arms, and the anthem. Can Nigerians recite the national pledge and sing the national anthem?
To save Nigeria with all my strength,
So I press to Nigeria, my country. So
to save Nigeria with all my strength. So to be faithful in honor, to be faithful, loyal, and honest. So I don't know, please.
And uphold and honor and glory, so help me God.
To defend our unity, loyal and honesty, so help me God.
I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength.
Guide our leaders wise and
the neighbors of our leadership past shall never be in vain. Na 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 na. Peace and unity. Arise, so-called patron, Nigeria stood the bell. True say, la la la. We learn and we're hungry. Where was living free, what we stand well still, and so on and so forth. should try and eliminate corruption in all spheres of the economy.
I am a proud citizen of Nigeria.
I'm proud to be a Nigerian.
I'm a proud Nigerian.
I am also a proud Nigerian, but my respondents are hoping that Nigeria tomorrow will be better than today. Happy independence to Nigerians. Eyaginopo, KBC News.
I'm also a proud Nigerian.
I
don't know about you.
I'm a proud Nigerian.
A country of over 200 million people, 371 ethnic groups, 525 native languages, plus English language and the English pidgin, spoken by 30 million people. It's a big nation.
How can you mention languages and you don't put Akwa Ibom languages?
I said 525. That includes our languages here.
Yes, say that again. Nigeria has gone a long way. For 63 years is no mean feat. But didn't you recognize in that report that a lot of Nigerians
do not even know how to sing the
do
national
not know
anthem.
Nigeria?
Even the pledge. I was surprised that people that have finished school don't know how to say the national pledge.
But I also want to exempt that woman who said that she has finished school for a very long time and is selling periwinkle.
She shouldn't forget the pledge.
Honestly, it's good to be a Nigerian.
Diversity, cultural diversities, the attires. This afternoon I was just going through some pictures on the internet. I saw the attires, the Hausas, the Yorubas, the Ibibios, the Efeks, the Igbos. Beautiful attires we have in this country. And someone wrote this afternoon, I picked it from the internet, said, there is no country in the world with diversity, confidence, talent, and black pride like Nigeria.
Yeah, you can say that again. Nigeria is very, very blessed by God.
Happy independence once again to Nigeria. We move on.
The saying that one man's meat is another man's poison holds true for Mr. Elijah Joseph Attah, a serial polygamist from Nkaniman in 18 and local government area, married to a total of 16 wives, out of which 12 left, while he currently lives with 4. The irony of his devotion to polygamy finds expression in his ability to provide for 24 children in the same economy. Monogamists with few children are lamenting about how to feed and cater for the households. Yours truly landed a tenant when I heard of Mr. Elijah Attah to find out how he copes with his 4 wives and 24 children who do not know their real mothers because they are separated from their mother after 3 months of birth. The story of Mr. Elijah Joseph Attah, a man with many wives and children, as well as the circumstances surrounding the swapping of his children at birth to his co-wives, took yours truly to Nkaniman in a teen and local government area. On arrival, our team was received by Elijah, who treated us to delicious local delicacies before narrating the story of his life as a polygamist.
Dr. Elijah Joseph Attah. Tingana Tom Kamaran Kairo, when I'm one on one gag with you and get again to Nang. Colora Banga Colonium Colonium
Elijah told us that he had 16 wives, 4 left but without their children, 8 had no children and left, while 4 are still with him and their 24 children. We sought to know from him the need for that number of wives and how he coped with his marital responsibility to them.
Up till now. Ramama Manja Boram, Kapan Noram, Nong Boram, Madam, Kapan Noram, Amama 3 months mebo. Other impossible, what I got my info, for the Akawanamo. Iram in the 24 children, and came, Jemaginaba. A friend mommy, I'm an mission man, I was Junkan on Namatian, they were one of the Nsa. but I can't win.
Why would the other room me? So for saying I'm the timetable, I meet up a frame more.
About away with the material bonomo, as young as them to say no. I mean, I to Crabanier. Mano, Mano, indeed, I don't know. Riama, I get Janidiama. I feel just most down on young one, that not an Araja. Am I Raya? I mean, you want to
Elijah is a Christian, a big palm oil producer who has thousands of hectares of oil palm fruits, which generate at least 2 million naira monthly palm oil, and also an embalmer since 1981.
Then I'm the Calabagan and the Megway told you. I make it even 140 million told you. I make it to be done and encourage 50. He did get younger 50 and I need 100 robbers, which is 10 drums. At the end of the month, I give me 2 million.
The 4 remaining wives of Elijah, Imabong, Ekaite, Abigail, and Didorean, narrated their experiences being Elijah's wives and the raising children from other wives. They spoke of their cooking method and taking turns in meeting with the intimate needs of their husband. I forget Kadira and Yerudo would have married on Biofin. I don't go on Biofin and our Indian minimum. We marry on Buiro, Mimbumbo, Kenya, we were Guinea Emperor. Men on Sensian said I can me, who said I can win on Osia. So say they married. You see, you say, I'm saying, I'm market. You didn't say anything.
I mean, the one doctor, a young one, he's in Kerekaite. I didn't domain. I mean, mad young again, are around one fit. And no, see, I'm very young boy of us India. And Mataman feel idiot. I made on Indian. But I mean, the dance again and Doromia and woman. You, dear, are Mugan and Infinity Bell. And I understand. They say I'm timetable. Timetable, I will be a rubo for being off for a penny off and a near cathedral. Yeah, so beginning. I fully come to need on Kuffer. Ah, for Canada, Aribo, a cack, I give it him. So Puno, we are at Ayakun. I mean, do a young one, I'm now. I get it in Domin. Mad on that Kenya, Arodo Iban Fin. Due to Nanya Kama family mo, Nonkat. Now Moike Buno, then Toika. A tendiri I see okay, a friend mon, Togoyan, Edia, Tarokanan, and in Bouquet, there will be no problem. Kenya doing. Regrets, Tang fell, Kayin disappoints. Don't get the young, don't get on ye, Manayan, Akananam, Mbopayan, Nakbagadim. Nong doeka, idan san nagen kirap. Mamma nagen rumma. Iban man ko moy rum neka. Am moy kama, am moy non didia. Even the toro safe, e don't memmo. Akuri da rubo yen me moka. E be given a woman fin. The other room. I say nam de say nye timetable for say that area. Fran, there's no problem ni am Fran. Nong di yon send me nong dok. Send me man nong dok. Nong enjoy. Some children of Mr. Elijah that talked about not knowing their biological mothers and whether they will follow their father's footsteps in maintaining polygamy.
We have never quarreled before.
Okay, how many wives do you want your husband to marry?
I want my husband to marry only me.
Yeah, I don't want my husband to marry 4 wives. Only me alone is okay.
So according to him, he's not married to 4 wives, he's married to about 2 wives. So, but 4 years pregnant. And when I was 10, I did not tell him my mom. Sunday, I took her to cook. Next week, second wife, third week, first wife, and stuff like that. So I might not be able to be like him. I intend to marry one with me.
We also met and spoke with the superintendent of Christ Freedom Church, where Elijah is a committed member on the stand of the church about polygamy. What do you as a person think about Elijah's decision and polygamy? And do you agree with many that happiness is a choice? Well, choose the path you can take to the end, provided it makes you happy. Eyageno Paul, A. Kebisinians.
16 wives.
Yeah.
24 children.
Yeah.
I think this man should win a Guinness World Record.
Yes, I think he should.
His ability to keep them under one roof, his ability to control them. Just 2 women can fight and set fire to a house. Then 16. He's commendable, but in this economy, he's not very good. I don't know how he does it. I don't know.
Please don't say that. Well, I was even thinking that the newsroom will at least plan and marry 2 other wives for you.
You don't like me, Yagan. Well, it's commendable for him to be able to keep them, to be able to run his family. But for me, I would not advise anyone to go that far because the economy is not very friendly.
And you know what? The man said he has trained all his children, all the 24 children. Most of them are graduates. Most of them are married. And that when the child marries, that is a female child, he will settle the daughter with the land, give the girl a house, give some money so that at least he will not go and lack. But the most interesting part for me was when I interviewed the children. How many wives do you want your husband to marry? Or as the boy, how many wives do you want to marry? They said no, that they want only one. I was like, don't you want to follow the footsteps of your father? I really commend the man. I think he's trying.
All right, we move on. We have more time to talk about this maybe in subsequent editions.
I think you're
We're
right.
going on break. Governor's wife seeks collaboration with public security organizations ahead of her PATE project launch.
And Governor Moino, Chief Press Secretary Kerete Udo, clarifies gray areas in government programs and policies.
These and more when we return. Stay with us.
I need the police that can respond to emergencies first.
I want the equipment I need to do my job.
I want a police that won't harass or arrest me for no just reason.
I want to be valued for my work, not feared by honest people.
I want a police that won't ask me anything for the boys.
I want a decent salary that is paid on time.
If it happen, with good laws,
Proper funding,
training,
and cooperation. If it happen.
If it happen.
If it happen.
You're welcome back. Reactions have continued to trail the recent ruling of the Election Petitions Tribunal that upheld the election of Governor Moino as winner of the March 18, 2023 governorship election. Hailing the judgment, some political stakeholders in the state, while congratulating Governor Eno, expressed the belief that the judicial affirmation would give verve to the Arise agenda. Samuel Ayar in the following report collates some of the stakeholders' reactions.
Ruling on the petition filed by YPP and Senator Bassi Albert against Governor Moino, PDP and INEC drove the final nail in the coffin of post-election litigations challenging Pastor Moino's victory at the polls. The fifth and last, with 4 earlier in the week decided, the petitioners are now limited to the choice of testing the judgments in courts of higher jurisdiction. Notwithstanding the option of appeal, the political leader of Uyo Senatorial District, Senator Effiong Bob, Secretary to State Government, Prince Enombonwa, and National Chairman, MPM, Barrister Emmanuel Enoidem, in congratulating Governor Umoino on the verdict, held the Justice Adekunle Adeyeye panel for giving good accounts of themselves.
As a lawyer and former Attorney General of the state, understood the facts before the tribunal. And I knew for sure that if we go through the facts, then apply the law to the facts, and even apply the law or facts to the law, you will see in the way the tribunal has ruled. Because the people of Akwa Ibom massively voted for him and stood by him, and all the issues canvassed by them were of no legal consequence.
First of all, I would like to thank Almighty God for his mercies, because this has been him all the way, from the primaries to the elections to the pre-election cases. It has been God all the way. So I'd like to thank him for all his mercies. We are happy, and now we can concentrate and do the job. Pastor Umoino is ready. Pastor Umoino is already walking. I'm sure everybody, it's so clear, everybody has seen it. He's already walking.
We feel justified. Before the election, we were justified when Umoino emerged a candidate of our party. During the election, we were very happy when Umoino emerged the winner of the election. Today, the court has justified all our efforts by declaring that Umoino was validly elected as the governor of Akwa Ibom State. For us, we are very, very happy the verdict of the tribunal this morning. It's a victory for peace in Akwa Ibom State.
Other respondents also hailed the judgments as a nod for the continuation of the administration's Arise agenda.
And then we came into the election petition. While we were trying to manage this, somebody came up with a purported conviction from a magistrate court in Muse, in Abuja, and we had to battle that. So we were running from left to right. We just had to be vigilant, and thank God that it's all is well that ends well. I thank God for him.
And as a party, based on what we did during the election, we know all the results we pulled out was genuine results from our respective unit in the state. So as a party, we are not surprised by the judgment. And we thank the judge, the old tribunal, for what they have done. And
of course, it offers us the opportunity to come together as a family, to continue to develop the state. It offers us the opportunity as a people to thank God for what God has done. And of course, it's an encouraging stone for Pastor Umoino.
We urge all of our brothers and sisters who had gone to the other party to ventilate their spirituality to the party, because the People's Party is that large platform that can accommodate all of us. And since the return of democracy, we have been very, trying to point the direction.
They also united in the call on candidates who lost out at the last elections to consider the olive branch extended them by Governor Umoino and seek peace and reconciliation to move Akwa Ibom forward. Samuel Ayara, AKBC News.
Congratulations to our Governor, Pastor Umoino. Ayara will say that now that we are done with tribunal matters, it is time to call for unity of purpose in order to speed up the development of the state.
Yes, I think that all should join hands now to build Akwa Ibom that we have. Congratulations to the governor.
All right, we move.
Now to the next story. Akwa Ibom State's First Lady, Pastor Patience Umoino, has expressed intention to partner organizations in her pet project as arrangements for the formal launch gathers momentum. Pastor Patience stated this when she received a delegation from Denmarkers Makers Business Roundtable United, a consulting firm at the government's house, Uyo. Margaret Bassi reports.
expressing readiness to partner the group alongside other organizations that seek to better the lot of Akwa Ibom people. Pastor Eno said the group's aspiration aligned with her soon-to-be unveiled project. Hence, the optimism she would achieve more with the support of the Business Roundtable.
So happy. It means that the collaboration, the cooperation, the assistance, everything we want to do with us with this project, it needs it to happen smoothly. And I am confident that my pet project will take so much from me. With you by my side. So that God is who has brought you today to come to give me the much needed support and assistance.
Speaking earlier, the leader of the delegation of management staff of the organization, Senator Emmanuel Ibo Essien, introduced Denmarkers Roundtable as a group of intellectuals who are willing to help the governor's wife raise resources to kickstart her humanitarian project for the benefit of the society.
With full detail of what you can do, suggested details which your team and this team will sit down and agree on the project, agree on the implementation plan, so that by the time you handle this project, you will reach out to almost 1 million Akwa Ibomans of this category.
Also speaking, the Director of Planning, Dr. Godwin Tami, proposed a multi-billion partnership deal with the governor's wife, as well as comprehensive and elaborate strategic action plan for implementation.
There's a data page analysis of all the 31 local government of Akwa Ibom State. Number of youths, number of children, number of women, they are all listed here. We also have records of the poor in each of the local government. This will help us as.
High point of the visit was the presentation of a brochure to the governor's wife. Margaret Bassey, AKBC News.
Okay, the people should partner with the governor's wife. That's what she wants, partnership. Because like her predecessor, Dr. Martha Udomi Emmanuel, who had FEREP, Pastor Patience Umono also has something to do to touch the lives of the people, the vulnerable, the women, and the children.
Yes, the PET project of the governor's wife is what they use from time immemorial to touch the lives, like you said, of the destitute, the less privileged, the disabilities, the women, men, youth, and every other person. So it's a good idea. I think it calls for support for her so that the PET projects can really impact on Akwa Ibom people.
And I want to please ask, just for the men, please, Your Excellency, include the men in the project.
Please, Your Excellency, prioritize the women in the project.
All right, we move on to the next story. The wife of the Akwa Ibom State Governor, Pastor Patience Umono, has urged privileged members of the society to develop passion for philanthropy as a lifestyle that provides succor to the less privileged. Pastor Patience Umono gave the charge during the 50th birthday dinner of the lead pastor of Household of Love Ministry International and member of the pastoral team of the state's monthly women prayer meeting, Evangelist Eno Charles. Again, Margaret Bassey was there.
Encouraged individuals to always endeavor to fill the gap between the rich and the poor by listening to their plight and devising means to restore hope. The governor's wife commended the celebrator for recognizing the essence of giving to the less privileged, describing the celebrator as one who is embedded with wisdom and understanding in interpreting the word of God. The governor's wife said Evangelist Eno Charles is one whose voice brings the devil under subjection, reiterating that her toil in the vineyard of God will bring bountiful harvest.
And she has this prophetic gift that I always admire. When she says it, it surely comes to pass. That is how you know a woman of God. So, and I'm not surprised in the crowd tonight. it shows the way you have touched their lives. And so I thank you also. You have sown, you have sacrificed, you have done it all. And so this is the time for you to harvest all that you have been planting. I speak to you as your fellow servant of the Most High, that you will not miss any of your harvest.
In her remarks, the chairman on the occasion and permanent secretary, Hospitals Management Board, Mrs. Stella Etoban, lauded the celebrator for staying committed and dedicated to her duties as a health worker and as a servant of God who has affected humanity, urging her to keep on the good work.
What interests me so much in Eno, she has developed herself so much. And she's very committed to her duties. Some staff that cannot cope with her level of commitment, dedication, discipline, they always come to me to complain.
The celebrator, Evangelist Eno Charles, who shared her story of how God elevated her to an exalted position from a humble beginning, said determination and hard work changed the narrative and brought her to the zenith of her career, encouraging others to keep hope alive, while thanking Governor Moino and wife Patience for their continuous support to her family and believing in her ministry.
I want to say to God, thank you. That I don't actually look like what I have been through. So many things have been said about me. But there comes a time in life you need to try to see how to change the narratives. And me trying to change the narratives fetched me a lot of names in Akwa Ibom State. But I know the name that God is calling me. Because God is never seeing me in the spectacle of others.
The 50th birthday dinner was attended by a cross-section of clerics, family members, top government functionaries, and featured the cutting of the 50th birthday cake by the celebrator, who was later led to the dance floor by the governor's wife, Pastor Patience Umoino.
You and
Margaret Bassi, AKBC News.
Happy birthday to the celebrator Evangelist Eno Charles.
And 50 happy cheers to the celebrator.
All right.
Now we move to another story. As part of measures to promote media relations in the state and keep the people informed about government programs and policies, the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Mr. Kirete Udo, has reviewed government programs in the last 2 weeks and provided insights on some gray areas. Government House reporter Patience John reports that the media interface between the CPS and Government House reporters is the brainchild of Governor Moino and is expected to hold fortnight.
Held in the conference room of the Press Center Government House, the CPS Governor Mr. Kirete Udo spoke on the activities that marked the 36th anniversary of the state creation, including the sharing of palliatives to local government areas, which he said is ongoing.
In the last weeks, His Excellency has always hit the ground running, and I think the critical things that happened was the flag of the palliatives. His Excellency also declared open the first made in Akwa Ibom trade fair, and I'm sure the level of ingenuity of the people of Akwa Ibom State and the capacity for them to use the works of their hands to create what would be a sustainable living standard, and which ties into the Rise's agenda of looking inwards and applying the skills and the talents that God had embedded in all of us to create sustainable living. So that's a wonderful thing. I'm sure the feelers too that we've gotten is that the people are very excited.
Commenting on the current traditional rulers' saga, the CPS reiterated the governor's stance where he sued for peace, love, and unity among all components of the state, instead of making inciting comments that could hit up the polity, and announced plans by the state government to have a 5-day retreat for members of the State Executive Council outside the state to assimilate all components of their rights agenda for the benefit of the people.
In the course of the celebration arising from the Traditional Rulers Council issue, Excellency has spoken robustly and has presented the facts as they are, but it's not meant to find the embers of this. The Akwa Ibom has been peaceful. There is no discernible difference between the Bibio man, the Anang man, and the Oron man, or the Ogolo. All of us are one.
The interactive media briefing had some governors aides in attendance. Here is Mrs. John, ABC News.
I think that's a very good initiative by the Chief Press Secretary, and it shows accountability, giving adequate information from government to the people and carrying everyone along.
You know that the media plays a very vital role. Without briefing the media for them to know what to tell the people, irrespective of what you do, nobody will hear about it. So that's very, very commendable on the part of the Chief Press Secretary to the governor.
Okay. We take our last report for today. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has announced the approval of 25,000 naira increment as provisional allowance for junior federal workers over the next 6 months. He said the approval followed negotiations with labor unions and other stakeholders in the business community to increase the federal minimum wage without triggering undue inflation. President Tinubu, in his maiden Independence Day address to Nigerians, announced that the average low-grade worker shall receive an additional 25,000 naira per month. The president, who acknowledged the sufferings of Nigerians since the scrapping of petrol subsidy at his inauguration on May 29, 2023, said he was not happy watching Nigerians shouldering burdens that would have been shed a long time ago. The president reiterated that his administration was doing all that it could to ease the burden. I think that's a good start. And in that report, in that speech, he also sued for peaceful coexistence and appealed to Nigerians to be patient as things will get better very soon.
That's very, very good, because the president understands that Nigerians are suffering, especially the civil servants, the low ones he's talking about. And we know that 25,000 naira will do something, will go a long way to bettering the lot of this set of people.
Okay, I think we have come full cycle on this episode of our program, Sunday News Special. Yeah, let's say our bye-byes.
Okay. You're going to say our bye-byes? Don't forget that we are Nigerians.
Okay.
Proud Nigerians and
okay.
that. So, I'm proud to be a Nigerian, and I know you are proud. And we are hoping that Nigeria, irrespective of what has happened, will continue to be great.
On behalf of every one of us here, we say happy 63rd Independence, our dear country, Nigeria. Good night. Bye-bye.